Good morning, everyone. It's John Neal here. It's Thursday, the 14th of November 2024. Hey, hope you've noticed I've got a different bike. Look at this. It is delightful. And today I am going on a pilgrimage. Yes, you heard me right. Oh, you shush yourself. See you, Tony. It's me mate Tony. Look at him on his electric bike. Oh dear. Who would have thought it? Where was I? I'm going on a pilgrimage to take this bike, this brand new, youthful, fresh-faced Estarli bike, down to Coventry, to the Coventry Transport Museum, so that it can see one of its ancestors. Stay there, boy. So you may well ask, what's the big deal, John? Well, this is it. You know I've got an Estarli E28 bike, had it about 2 years ago. Well, I did a review on that, and there were one or two things about it which I think could be changed, improved upon, and they've done it. And they've come up with this. It's one of about 3 different versions of the E28. 28 is the size of the wheel by the way. This is a 28.9, meaning it's got 9 sockets on the rear cassette. So it's basically 9 gears. And they've made a lot of improvements on it, and I'll talk you through those later on. So this is very exciting. However, one of our gang, unfortunately, you might have heard me refer to Jim before now, in North Carolina. And Jim likes a map. So I just slip in most times and say, oh, Jim likes a map, and here's a map. So I'm going to do that today because I'm going all the way down to Coventry to have a look at the Coventry Transport Museum and end up at the James Starley statue, which is in Warwick Row in Coventry, my hometown, don't you know? Yes, these are called Estarli bikes, using the name Starley, but this spelt with an I. So I'm taking this fella back to see its great-great-great-granddaddy. And that'll be quite interesting indeed. So looking forward to that. But Jim, God bless him, sad to say, straight to the point, appears to be terminally ill. He lives in North Carolina. I've been talking to Jim, chatting to him, video link, for about the last 3 years. A lovely chap, and we talked about American things. He's politics and conditions and lifestyles, and particularly his interest in history and indeed maps. So it's a great sadness that I was just informed that he's going to a hospice and his days are considerably numbered. So I am going to dedicate this video to Jim Broom in North Carolina. Go on, you're all right. I'm going to walk anyway. On him. On him. On him. another way the new bike wins out, because I'm on a busy road here and I've got to get down to the canal here, so I've got to lift the bike up over this barrier, which is a bit annoying, to be frank. So got to do it. Yes, now I've made it down by the canal, and fortunately didn't end up in the canal. I think you can see now why I put my Doc Martens on. Oh dear, I'm getting too old for this. These tyres are apparently puncture proof or puncture resistant or something like that. I hope so, because canal sides are terrible. Well, here I am at Hawkesbury Junction in Bedworth, Warwickshire, and time to give you a little bit more information about the Estarli E28.9. Oh, let me take this off. I'll tell you, if and ever I get one of these bikes, I'm definitely going to have a pannier rack, because I don't like carrying bags on my back while I'm cycling. Right, let's have a closer look at this Estarli E28.9. 0.9, not because it's the 9th one, apparently, it's because it's got 9 gears on the back, 9 cogs, which is great. And I've used most of them. Somebody said I might not. Yeah, but the general feel, it looks fantastic. I mean, it's the design, the smoothness of it, it just looks great. Not over fond of the grey, but I probably this time, I had a black one before. I might have a flashy colour if they do one, which would be nice. And the ride is really, really good. The suspension on the front is there's 2 suspension arms there, look, and the suspension on that is really good. And while we're up here, the handlebars have got an extra sort of palm support, which I had to buy on my other bike and was extremely advantageous and made a big improvement. So not just round grips, but these slightly flat ones. Mine are slightly bigger actually, but yeah, they're pretty good. While I'm up here again, the brakes, really good. They are pneumatic brakes this time. They're not cable operated disc brakes back and front, and they just feel really sharp and responsive. As does, in fact, the ride, the steer. It feels a little bit different to the other one. It might be to do with the rake of the front wheel, but it feels really good. Right, moving on. The drive is, the power that comes through seems to be really very, very good. And the display is excellent because it shows you a number of things. It shows you the speed that you're going, which is good. It's got the battery in percentages, so you can see I'm on 78% at the moment, which is very useful. And there's a little green bar as well, so you can see that. And it's got the power that you are taking from the battery on a line going up and across, which, if you're trying to be a little bit economic, is very good, because it indeed shows you if you don't need to use it and that you're not using it. Oh, I like the colours too. Look at this. As you go up the power ranges from 1 to 5, they change colour, which is lovely. But the control here, it's okay, but I don't know. I can't see from where I am. I have to bend down to see the controls. There's only 3. There's an up and down button and a central button that turns it on and off. I don't know. I tell you what, it's got a lovely little bell. Look at that. It's interesting design. It sort of wraps around the bar, which is really nice. Right, what else? Okay, staying on the top of the bike here. The gears are nice. They've tidied the cables up somehow. There's not such a mess of those, which is really nice. The seat's excellent. It's got here a special suspension. Look at this. There you go. And I have to tell you, that is really very, very good. It works well. Makes for a very soft ride. I see there are some lugs here for a pannier bag, which I would certainly take them up on. And hopefully, there's a hole there that would take the other end. It's still a bolt on the back axle. Quick release on the front, which apparently just pulls straight through. And there's a couple of mounts there for a water bottle. Over here we've got the input for the battery, which comes off quite nicely. You can see it in there. So that works well. And a major move is that the battery is detachable. There's a lock this side so you can take the battery out. I don't need to, because where I store the bike is right next to a plug socket, so I don't need to use that. But to take the battery away up to your flat or apartment is going to be very, very useful. I think I'll need to turn it around just to show you this bit. I've come out today with my big size 10 Doc Martens on because, paddling about in all the muck and that, I found it essential. But look, the stand, when you look from here, it is not in the way of your foot when it comes back here, because it's inside the frame. So that, and it clicks rather nicely. And so that's a new stand on the back, which is very good. The pedals, these are good ones. They're okay. My other bike had pedals which were less than 4 inches across, less than 100 mil. These are slightly more. They're about 105, I think, if I measure them the same. So they're a nice big pedal, so I might just leave those on as and when I need to. Yeah, so what else? The tyres are interesting, look, because they almost look like they've been worn out, because you got a heavy tread on the sides and not one in the middle. And I thought, well, the reason is, if you are going slightly off-road, gravel biking and what have you, then you might want something, as you turn, it would engage with this part of the tyre, but on the road, it will stay on the top, on the front, the top of the hill, if you will. And that makes it faster, because tread like this on a road bike, on the road, touching the road, is a big drag. The friction is considerable. What else? I think I've covered most things now. Downsides. Downsides? Are there any downsides? Yes, one or two. This phone holder, you have to unscrew it. Well, let's just say this. I've got one on my bike and it's much better. I just click my iPhone 15 with a case on it. I just clip it in, pull it down, flick it at the bottom. It's solid, really solid. I'm perfectly confident it's not going to come out. I'm afraid I couldn't use this. It just doesn't fit in properly, even if I slide it from the top. So I do that and then tighten it up. You'd think that would be okay. Looks all right, but just comes straight out. I wasn't going to do that near the canal. So, sorry, that needs an improvement. The gears are lovely, nice position. The bell's good, that's good. What else was I a little bit concerned about? Well, it was the fact that I can't understand the buttons on the control. Two things I wanted to do: reset the trip, and secondly, put the light on. I couldn't do it. I think the light, I don't know what I did to make the light come on. It did come on, it's a fantastic light, but I didn't know what I did. I don't know what I did to make it work. And I don't know how to turn it off if I put it on. So there you go. Apart from that, that's all. But really, really good. And of course, you saw me coming down onto the canal. It's only 17k weight, so it is easy to pick up. And it's less than 2,000 quid. What's not to like? So, this is the Estarli E28.9. There are some other versions of the 28, these size wheels that they do, including some step-through frames, which, to be honest, with me at my age, I think step-through frame is going to be quite attractive, to be honest. So it's not a lady's bike, it's just easy to get on and off. There are more older folk, more mature people who are riding bikes now, and I think it would be a lot easier to not have the crossbar going right over here. So apart from that, I bet there's something I've missed, which I'll have to go back onto. Well, just been for a complete ride to finish off the battery. Oh, I've worked out how to turn the light on and off. It's 2 flicks of the mode button. Oh, very good. The battery, it's got a little mind of its own. It was going down. I thought, well, I'll save the last 5% for a hill that's in Higham Village, the far side, pretty steep. And I usually, if I've got little battery left, I save some for that, zip up that, and then it's more or less downhill to home. However, the battery on the old Estarli wasn't having it. Oh no. As soon as it got down to 5%, it went into ration mode. And I put it in, well, power level 3. No, it would produce barely, I don't know, 10% power. So I wasn't struggling, but it was interesting to see what it did. And it's now on 2%. Mind you, I did have the light on. I don't know how much power the light takes. So in total, I've gone 25 miles on the full battery, which is 40 kilometers. I have to double check that with the official ratings. Word of note, of course, I'm not the lightest of fellas, and I'm on the top end of the range of weight that you've got to be to ride the bike. So that's a considerable factor, I'm sure, because it gives up more power to get me up the hills. But that aside, 25 miles, okay. Maybe if you were more efficient and didn't use the battery all the time, which you can do, you could eke out a bit more than that. But there we are, 40k. But no, that seems to be it. Overall, excellent. Really, really impressed. I was thrilled to come out on this. And just 1 or 2 niggles, which I think I'd like to get sorted out. Right, next stop has got to be the Coventry Transport Museum. That'll be good. And let me see if we can find an original James Starley bicycle. No, not E. Starley, but James Starley. Okay, right. Let's see, where's my rucksack, which I never put anything on my back when I'm cycling. Right, let's go.